Okay, let's talk about some seal installations here. This is the same little cylinder. I wanted to talk to you about it. Okay, so let me talk about this pick a little bit. You know, I used to use the snap-ons. I made this, and this is my favorite one. And I started production on them. I've got about 500 of the bodies made, and this is all powder coated. So I'm going to start selling these. This is the best one. So we knurl it on our little CNC lathe over there. And it's been powder coated. So I got about 500 of these right now. So I'm working on the caps. I'll kind of show you. This is my go-to one. So it's got a magnet on it, so it'll stand, or you can, you know, it'll see it's like that. But so what you'll get is you'll get this piece. This is where the magnet is. This one's taking a beating. Okay, I got an extra blade in here. It's a little hook blade. This is the best one. And I bought thousands of these things. You break the tips all the time. So you'll get 2 of them. You get an extra in case you snap that off, and I do it all the time. You got to be careful. And you can see it's got the magnet in here. And I do have these, but I never use them. You got a straight one and a 90 and a hook one. That all goes in there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this to where I can get a big scratch all pick and some O-ring installation tools. And you can just have these and have extras and put whatever you want in it. And I'll probably put a magnet on that so you can put them on your toolbox and switch and have several of these. You'll be able to just buy this part, screw them in, or take the other one out. But the reason I like this, I used to use the snap-on ones a lot, and then I'd always snap the blades off, and then you have to wait for the snap-on guy to come. And they have such a little handle when you're dealing with this oil. You know, you're trying to get the seals out, and then you snap the tip, and you got to wait. And I've had toolbox 20 or 30 of them busted. So this way you'll be able to get the blades and just buy those, or buy the thing, or just thread them in. And it's big for your hand. You just get a nice, you can get it in there and get the seals out just better. That's all I could tell you. I've been doing it over 30 years, and this is the best one ever, and this is my go-to. So those will be available. We're going to finish running them. And this is what you want. They're going to be the best one. But anyways, when you're doing this, and this is aluminum, don't get like a gorilla and big heavy-handed and go in there and jam it in there and then go and scar the area where the seal sits, because it leaves a little pocket for the oil to escape. So you want to stab the seal. Don't dig into the aluminum like a gorilla would. Okay, I've seen it happen. So watch out for that. You know, you get the inside groove, the head here. Let me show you this, and then I'll show you on the board. But I wanted to talk about that pick. Okay. And then let's talk about the seals. But here's the replacement seal, the poly seal for the shaft. And this one's loaded. Okay, this is a little better quality, but we have this little seal install tool. Just going to roll this back, and you're going to drop it in the groove. Get it in there, open it up. You got to get it just right. Get it straightened up when you put it in there. You can kind of see how it rolls back. You could get it in there, you know, with your fingers, but if you have big gorilla hands, it might be a little difficult. And you make sure you put it in the correct way. I'll show that on the board in a minute. Because I've gotten cylinders, guys do this and they don't really know, and they're coming, it's leaking. Someone else did it, comes in here for repair, and they put it upside down, and I just laugh about it. Okay, because they put it in there wrong. And sometimes you gotta, these little ones are a little bit harder to get in there. There's not much room. Okay. Just want to make sure that's seated down right. Take your pick and kind of roll it in there. Make sure you get it in there correctly. So you can kind of see Send the lips down. Okay, that's all it is. Again, this is a little seal install tool, and they sell these, and we'll sell them on our store, but there's different sizes. I'm going to help you out with that. And then you have your wiper. You're just going to pop that in. You can usually do that by hand. Roll this back edge of it to get it seated in there. So I said, this is the best tool ever right here. That's on. Then you got your backup. Okay, what the backup does, it pushes against the seal instead of pushing against metal. And there's different qualities of those. I'll show that in a minute, but I'm going to pop this one on using my pick. It's a lowbrow pick, what we're going to call it. And then you're going to pop your O-ring on there. And use this also to try to help you get it on. Okay, that's all there is to it. See that right there. Okay, so let's go to the board here. Let me look at this board so I can kind of show you. Zoom in here a little bit. So you have, let's say you have your head here. Okay, let's go down. You have your little seal pocket in here. Okay. Be something like this. When you're picking that, when you run your pick down here to get this out, you're going to stick it down in there and you're going to try to hook in here. You don't want to jam it in here and then go and cut into this, put a groove in here with that sharp pick because it's soft aluminum. And what happens, your oil kind of goes around here and then you get a slow seepage in there. Okay? And then the seal here that was provided with this one, this is just a U-cup basically. Okay, so what that looks like is the profile of that is just like this. Okay, just a basic. And it's, when they're new, they work okay, but they do, this starts getting fatigued and then you'll start leaking. So the one I installed, which is a little bit higher quality, has an O-ring stiffener in there which puts pressure against these points. That's where your sealing is done against the wall. And it's just a little better quality. There's a different grade of it. So you can see that it's a stiffener in there. And then to go into your O-ring, you got your back up here, and then you got your O-ring here. Now on these backups, let me draw this a little bigger. A little lower grade, just a flat, straight one. And then you have your O-ring, you know, right here. Okay, that goes against that. But there's a higher quality backup, which has like a cup on it. Okay, there's a cup, kind of like that. And then your O-ring kind of seats in there like this. See? It's a little better quality. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, a lot of times you're just finding the lower grade on these cylinders, and then they'll, you know, all hydraulics leaks. So just so you know, that gives you a little idea. That's all I wanted to show you. And then talk about my pick here. And these picks, like I said, they're going to be red, white, and blue because they're all made in here. We make them right here. And I got 500 of these made, and I've already had them powder coated. I just have to get the other part done. And I bought 1,000 of these special pick ends. So that'll be available, and they'll probably be on Amazon, but we're working on that. So that's all I want to show you on that. So stand by.